If you're watching this video, you know someone that's in a bad marriage. I'm Brian Reedy with Reedy Law Office. And in this video, we are going to talk about the 3 things that you should never say to someone that's in a bad marriage. Now, the first thing that you should never say to someone in a bad marriage is you should leave. Nobody wants to be told that they're wrong. Think about the times that you've had somebody tell you that you were wrong. There's a natural reaction that you want to fight it, that you might actually be pushing somebody further into that relationship. You see, they don't want somebody to tell them they made a mistake. Do you know people that are kind of hard-headed? And sometimes they'll actually double down on the mistake just to prove that they're not wrong. You've got to think about them. This is not about you. Don't tell them what they should do. You need to be the supportive friend and ask the questions so that they can make their own decision. You think about it. Do you like to be sold to? No, but you probably like buying. In other words, you don't want a pushy salesman coming up to you saying you should buy this or buy that, but you probably enjoy buying. It's just about a human nature and the process of making decisions. Be supportive of your friend. Don't tell them what to do. Instead, ask them questions so they can see the answer. The second thing that you can't say is, if I were you. You know what? You're not them. That's the worst thing that you can say to somebody that's in a bad relationship. Sometimes it's appropriate, when you say, if I were you, I would do this. If I were you, I would buy the blue car versus the red car. You're expressing your personal opinion. Well, sometimes that's fine, but unless they ask, don't give them your personal opinion. You are not them. You're not married to their spouse. Everybody has different personalities. They have different likes, dislikes. And if you start telling somebody, this is what I would do, therefore you should do it, what you're doing is you're judging. You're saying to them, I would do this, and if you don't, you're wrong. That may not be what you intend, but that's how they're going to feel. So avoid any statements that are going to come across as judgy or anything like that. You need to stay on the same level as the person. You don't want to make statements of, if I were you, because now they start thinking that they're inferior to you. That's not your intention, so don't say it. Avoid saying, if I were you. The last thing that you should avoid saying to someone in a bad marriage is that your spouse is an asshole. You can pick any word you want, but the point is, don't trash their spouse. They may be thinking it, but you shouldn't say it. If you grew up and you had siblings, they probably annoyed you. They got under your skin. And yeah, you probably said some things about them. But when somebody else said something about them, that's when you got defensive. You got to think of it like that. This is a family member to them. This is somebody they chose. So don't trash them, to try and make them think, oh, it's going to be okay. This is an asshole. I'm going to go get divorced. I'm doing the right thing. You're not helping by trashing their ex. And the thing about it is, if they have kids, that's still the parent of their children. Doesn't matter what they've done. That's still the parent of their kids. It doesn't help you to trash them. The other thing is, people get back together sometimes. And do you want to be the one that trashed their spouse? Then they went through some therapy and they fixed things. Now, are you on the outs because you trashed their spouse? You got to think these things through. Trashing the spouse never helps. Again, you need to focus on the observations and the behavior and not the people. So avoid saying anything negative about their spouse. If you found this information to be helpful, click the link below. This is part of a series that we put together, and we'll get you all the information within the series. That includes how to start the conversation, the items that you should say, the things that you should avoid, and the 7 things that you need to do to be a good friend to someone going through divorce.